why not Zoidberg?
But
they actually had like legitimate AI, like real AI, as on their characters. It was pretty nice.
Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I do remember actually seeing you play that. Although, like,
Knuckles was practically useless.
yeah, I was gonna. Well, because we have like you can see right there the Sega Genesis is over there, and like you can have. Oh my God, this is the worst. By the way, playing with an Xbox One controller with like
maybe
Sonic.
the PlayStation will work better.
Well, yeah, the PlayStation would work better, but here's the thing: the PlayStation 4 can't do backwards compatibility, so it's not like I can go to the PlayStation Store and just buy.
I was being an idiot. I play pretty much everything on the computer, as you know, so I'm used to being able to just instantly swap out Xbox and PS4 controllers if I want to use them.
Well, and then also, anyways, the emulator's like not great.
Yeah.
So that's a big problem. Yeah, and I don't want to play it with the emulator, because the Sega emulator sucks. And I'm like, no. I know I can find a better emulator online, but you know what? I was like, doesn't matter. I already have this game on the Xbox. We might as well play it on the Xbox. Because then we can capture it in HD and 60 frames per second. Which won't be the case when we get to the Sega Genesis, because the Dreamcast, because I do need to get a low definition. Well, it's not standard anymore, is it? It's not standard def anymore.
But then again, HDMI cables, high definition, are they're the standard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. They are like 1080p is standard definition.
But it's still considered HD.
Yeah, like when are we gonna stop pretending that like 1080p is like this like
super high definition.
Yeah, like wow, like 1080p high definition. It's like no, that's standard definition now.
Yeah.
Like, you're an insane person. You're an insane, crazy person if you still have, like, a DVD player and not, like, a Blu-ray player. Just an Xbox One.
Yeah,
or
we don't have a Blu-ray player.
We are insane. Yeah, we are insane, crazy people because we have Xboxes. So, yeah, because why buy a Blu-ray player when you can buy an Xbox or a PS4, which also does Blu-ray and has the added bonus of playing games, which are more fun than watching movies.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of movies, we saw the new Star Trek, J.J. Abrams Trek. Although he didn't direct this one, but it's still J.J.
It wasn't exactly bad, and this might be because I'm not necessarily a fan of Star Trek, but it wasn't the most enjoyable movie for me.
Well, it's
like it was fun, but probably because I'm not a Star Trek fan, I couldn't really get as into it as you did.
Well, I think that it's like, so here's the thing. Star Trek Beyond is fine. Like, it is a fun action movie. I would recommend going to see it if you have nothing to do. You know, if you're like, I have money to blow, I want to see a movie on the big screen. Yeah, like, go see that. Like, don't go see, like, Ice Age 7 or whatever and Ghostbusters. But, like, it's just like the Star Trek movies are so damn safe. Like, it's so safe. Like, nothing it does was interesting. You know, the final act had a fight on a rooftop. You know, the bad guy is, like, misunderstood. He has some ulterior motive that makes us feel like we should feel bad for him, like...
When in reality, you don't.
When in reality, you don't, because he's a two-dimensional villain.
I could even predict...
The characters are supercharged, like, exaggerations.
I predicted what happened to the villain in the end from, like, the moment the moment that weapon was mentioned.
Which, yeah, also the
you could already
that they were fighting for. That
yeah,
wasn't
the
also
MacGuffin
great.
device.
But yeah, no, because like in the 60s TV show for Star Trek, there was like, okay, so they obviously have like their subtle little things like every once in a while, Captain Kirk might disobey orders if it meant, like, you know, doing the mission and stuff like it, but it was rare. Like, but because he did that every once in a while in the show, in this, because it's a big Hollywood blockbuster, he's a wild man. Like, he's crazy. He wears leather jackets. He rides, like, motorcycles from modern-day Earth. Like, you know, he's nuts. He's off the hook. And, you know, Spock, it took, like, just so many years on TV of, like, seasons and stuff to actually see emotion out of Spock, and when you do, it's like a big thing. And so because of that, Spock's like a whiny crybaby, you know, in these J.J. Abrams movies. Uhura, I don't know why she's there, actually, because she doesn't do anything in the old
she
TV
never
show.
really did anything.
Well, if anything, she messed up a lot. She was always like, oh, I'm sorry, Captain, like, I must be, you know, reading this wrong or something. Like, yeah, she was constantly being scolded, so I don't know why she's being, like, pushed as this main character. She never was a character. She was just, like, a red shirt that happened to have a name. Yeah, but, I don't know. Like, it's great as, like, a summer blockbuster movie, because it's safe, it's exactly what you think it's gonna be, but it's just, like, it's not Star Trek. Star Trek's about boring politics and, like, xenophobia and, like, exploration. And it's like, this is, like, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars, but, like, with not as interesting a universe. Although, I would say, like, I think Star Trek, like, as bad as the Star Trek movies are, and here's the thing, like, Star Trek is known for bad movies. Like, known. Like, most of the live-action Star Trek movies are... They are the worst. Like, they are the absolute... And look, this is before I get all the comments like, what the fuck do you play? Like, I'm trying! It's this controller! But, like, I get that, like, you know, Star Trek is not about action, and it's just supposed to be about super boring space politics, but it's like, that's what I like about Star Trek. I like the talking, I like the drama between the characters, and so when I go see a Star Trek movie, it's just, I don't know.
You don't want to see action.
Yeah, and then, but, you know, that being said, because all the Star Trek movies are traditionally stinkers, most of them, I do think that Star Trek does have a little bit more quality control than Star Wars, because, well, Star Trek, most of the movies are very bad. You have how many years of just great TV, where it's like with Star Wars, so far there have been 3 really good movies.
The original trilogy.
Well, the Empire, or Return of the Jedi, I feel like as time goes on, more and more problems crop up. Like the Ewoks on Endor,
yeah.
and like...
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I agree. What's the third movie then?
But, well, The Force Awakens.
Oh, I kind of completely forgot about that, despite how
The Force
recent
Awakens is good.
It
I'm
was
so
good.
sick of people being like, The Force Awakens is the worst Star Wars movie out of... It's like, have you watched The Phantom Menace? Have you watched Attack of the Clones? Have you watched Revenge of the Jedi, or whatever it was called, Return of the Jedi? Like, those are bad movies.
Those were bad movies.
Like, really, like, I recently, Oh my god, okay. I'm like, here I am trashing on, like, you know, the Star Wars prequels, and I know that they have, like, rabid fans, but I'm sitting here, like, being like, guys, look, I know everything about everything. Let me tell you what is really correct, as I'm, like, running into spikes and stuff in Sonic the Hedgehog. But,
You know, if it might help when we eventually move on to, like, Sonic 2...
Yeah, for Sonic 2, we're gonna have to change a few things. This Xbox controller's not working.
We could, I do have a pretty
fuck.
semi-nice recording software on my computer.
Well, I have Shadowplay, because we have NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, so
I've never used it.
It's really good, but yeah, so we could probably do Shadowplay, although I'm gonna have to turn on... I think there's a setting for capturing just general like desktop footage in general, and we're gonna have to do that if we're gonna use emulators.
Yeah,
Because it only captures
my
games supported by NVIDIA, I believe.
My capture software has the ability to set up a section of the screen, and it will record whatever is in that section, no matter what. But nothing outside of that section.
Yeah, that's what most, you can do that as well. You can, that's called cropping, they call it. The kids call it.
Yeah, I don't know video editing terms. The most video editing I've ever done is just converting MP3.
Jesus!
You died
fucking
in the same
Christ.
spot! Anyways, the most video editing I've ever done is...
Our Let's Play is off to a great start.
Yep. Mainly just record.
And think about it, we've got hundreds of Sonic games to play through after
God.
this. So
I hope-
many.
I really hope we can skip over the bad ones,
Well,
like Tails Adventure.
We can't, though.
Oh god.
Yeah, how did you find Tails Adventure? Because I remember the other day you called me, or not the other day, I say the other day, like recently you called me, no, like a few years ago, I remember you called me into your room to check out this like weird Game Gear game.
Yeah, it was for the Game
Man,
Gear.
the Sega Game Gear, that was a thing I didn't know existed. It was like basically Sega's like really sad attempt at being a Game Boy.
Oh dear, now if you touch a single spike you'll die. I wonder
Yeah.
if
Here we go. Okay, we got it.
you did it. When something kills you. But to answer your question, as I said before, I am a big fan of Tails, and Tails Adventure. It's in the title. It was not
Is
a
it?
good game.
Is it in the title?
Tails Adventure. It's a game about
I
Tails.
don't get it, though. I don't see the connection. Say it again. Say it again. Maybe I'll get it this time.
Tails Adventure.
Now, see, I'm still not getting... It's okay. We'll move on. Just, okay, so tell me about this game, Tails Adventure.
It's not the best. It's like...
Oh, boy. Okay.
Make Sonic into a puzzle game that relies on the use of gadgetry
What?
in order to advance through the stages.
What?
Like using a robotic dog to scout ahead.
That's...
And then using boomerangs and remote-controlled mines in order to strategically defeat enemies so you don't have to encounter them yourself.
Is this like Metal Gear Tails? The Phantom Pain? Like,
And for some reason, all of the Chaos Emeralds have magically been transported onto this isolated island in the middle of nowhere where Tails is the only resident. So yeah.
yeah, wasn't there, like it looked like
bird-
Daffy Duck was the enemy? Like, just a bunch of
ducks
Daffy
or
Ducks?
Duck people or bird people or something like that decide to invade Tails' home island where he's the only sentient resident of it. I don't know what the
Okay.
story's supposed to be.
Is this like, oh shit, I dropped my earbud. Is this like, okay, so there are like bad Sonic games, like obviously we have Sonic 06, and Sonic Boom, which, man, can't wait to play that game,
Oh,
but
I don't even want to think about it.
is this like one of those games where it's like less of like those games
Before you
are-
continue,
yeah.
I do have to say that despite how bad this stage is, you can never say that the music isn't really fun.
Oh no, the music is great. But, which, by the way, Sonic, a game series known for bad games, but good music.
Speaking of good music, though, Carnival Night Zone.
Oh, Carnival, oh,
Sonic
well,
2.
I thought you said Casino Night Zone for a second. I was like, yeah, Casino Night Zone. But then it was
Really?
like, oh, Carnival
Or wait,
Night.
no, yeah, we're talking about the same thing, from Sonic 2.
Yeah, Casino Night
Yeah!
Zone.
I love that stage! It's
Have you
my
seen?
favorite.
Have you seen like the people that would like take it and stuff and turn it into ragtime?
I think at one point, but I've kind of fallen out of the Sonic
Oh, no,
remix
it's-
community.
Oh no,
So-
it's great if you like go find like Carnival or Casino Night Zone ragtime. It's like you have like a guy on the piano playing it like an old-timey like saloon in the West, but like
Oh, I'm gonna have to go look for that.
Yeah,
I
no.
love that. That's one of, if not my favorite song track in all of Sonic.
which there's also Sonic 3 and Knuckles has a pretty good track as well. I'm forgetting it's Lava Reef, is that
Yeah,
it?
Lava Reef.
Also Hydro
Which-
City. I remember that having really damn good music.
Yeah, That had pretty good music.
Well,
and,
I think the first act had really good music. The other ones, I'm like, they're too
And
fast.
actually, unless I am staking my memories, it was actually confirmed that the Sonic 3 and Knuckles soundtrack, Michael Jackson helped with.
Oh yeah, no, he collaborated with them to do
Yeah,
it,
so-
and then like, if I remember right, one of the reasons that like he did not want to be credited was because he didn't like the way the music sounded through like a, I think it's Omaha Chip, I think is the name of it, like the thing that does music for the Sega Genesis.
Maybe.
I might be completely wrong, but he didn't like the way like the music sounded, and so he was like, whatever, just have the music. Like, I've got to
yeah.
go. I've got to go like make a song and have billions of dollars.
Yeah, but you were right. Lava Reef Zone, and then I know I pronounce it weird, but Hydrocity.
Oh no, it's Hydro City because it's a hydro city.
Yeah, I know I pronounce it weird, but I only.
I think those are all the people that want to seem cool. They're like, no, it's Hydrocity.
I got used to calling it Hydrocity because I was a little idiot at the time, and it's kind of too late for me to break.
Hydrocity, that's a dumb name, but okay.
Like, I know it's supposed to
and
be.
you're like, oh, Hydro City.
I know
because
it's
a
supposed
city
to
underwater.
be Hydro City, but just I'm so used to calling it Hydrocity, I can't help but do that whenever I don't think about what to call it. But yeah, those two stages, they had
Oh, boy.
amazing music.
You know, it also had pretty good music. The Sonic CD Metal Sonic boss fight in the Bad Future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was pretty. Sonic CD had some rockin' tunes, guys. If you played the Japanese soundtrack.
Yeah.
Although even the American soundtrack had some pretty good music.
Yeah, I still think the Japanese one is better.
Well, particularly I think when it comes to look, I got a little man, but when it comes to Sonic soundtracks, I think that the American version of the Invincibility soundtrack for Sonic CD, that was dope.
I don't
you remember
remember
it?
that. I played with the Japanese soundtrack.
Okay. No, that like because like I don't really like the American tracks and stuff. Although like Robotnik's boss music is like really scary in Sonic CD, but like
Well, Sonic CD does have some kind of unusual things, like the sound test.
oh god, yeah, no,
You
I've
remember
seen some
those
of those
things.
images. Those like weird
The
images.
muscular Sonic, dear God.
But like yeah, like where they tried doing like a Batman Sonic thing and it just like ended up looking weird. But there was like this oh god, what was I thinking? Okay, so like remember in like Sonic CD when you played the when you were fighting Robotnik in the American track, remember it was just like creepy. It was like there was like that drone and then you hear Robotnik's like voice mixed into the drone, like his laughing.
I never really used the
And then there's like
American
the
soundtrack.
piano in really low key going like like this like really sinister drumming. It didn't fit the boss fights because like Robotnik looked so goofy in like his suit and stuff. Which, oh man, I just thought of something we gotta do at some point in this. We gotta do a because this is Let's Play 15 years, or 15, no.
25.
No, I was gonna, man, I was off by literally a decade, but, because I'll
You're
get out of
having
here
a lot
eventually.
trouble getting out of there.
Yeah, I'll get out of here eventually. But like, we also got to do a let's watch of the that Sonic fan movie, the really bad one from a few years ago.
I thought you were talking about the one with like the one with like the cool Metal Sonic, but everything else. sucked.
We got to do that as well. We got to do
Metal
we gotta
Sonic
watch
was
that.
cool, but everything else was like painfully
he's like,
cringe.